RVBN, the Rich Video Blog Network, home to top 10 list of everything and anything, weekly NFL predictions, great personality profiles, and a whole lot more. Check out an archive of my collection on Facebook and YouTube, RVB in Billerica, Massachusetts. Good morning, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Google+. This is Rich again, back for your first video blog of the day for Sunday, October 23rd, 2016, around 5:58 in the morning in Billerica, Massachusetts. It's a very windy morning. It's about 45 degrees. It's going to be a sunny day, but only about in the mid-50s, below average temperatures for the first half of the week. Tuesdays and Wednesdays high temperatures will be lucky to be 45, 46 degrees. Kind of a taste of late fall, early winter. So you have to get the winter jackets out, and the short shorts and the flip-flops have to go into storage into the springtime. You should not be wearing the short shorts and the flip-flops outside in this cold weather, because you could get sick, and it's like cold and flu season, and sometimes in the fall time cold and flus could last several weeks. Some news to report on the RVBN Newswire. The Montreal Canadiens beat the Boston Bruins by a score of 4-2. The Chicago Cubs blanked the LA Dodgers by a score of 5-0, meaning the Cubs won the National League pennant, and this is the first World Series appearance by the Cubs since 1945. They're going to be facing off against the Cleveland Indians. The two teams with the longest World Series championship droughts are going to face each other. So somebody's World Series drought is going to end. The Clarkson hockey team beat the UMass Lowell hockey team by a score of 4-3. And it's Happy Mo Day for the scientist. And that's about it on the news. I'll be back in a flash. RVBN, Billerica, Massachusetts. The only video blog on the internet that matters. I'm back. My first video blog subject of the day is about my personality profile. Today's personality profile is about Pro Basketball Hall of Fame contributor Hubie Brown. Hubie Brown has been involved in basketball for many years as a coach and a broadcaster. Hubie was born in Hazleton, Pennsylvania, and he grew up in Elizabeth, New Jersey. He was an only child to a father that worked in the shipyards, and his family was very poor. They lived in an apartment building in Elizabeth, New Jersey, and they did not have a phone. This was back in the 30s and 40s, where phones were like becoming more common. And his father was very strict, and Hubie played football and basketball and baseball in high school, and he was pretty good in all three sports. And when he went to Niagara University, he majored in education, and he played on the Niagara baseball and basketball teams. He was teammates of future NBA coaches at Niagara with Frank Layden, who coached the Utah Jazz, and Larry Costello, who became the coach of the Milwaukee Bucks. After he graduated from college, Hubie joined the U.S. Army in 1955, and he played on the U.S. Army traveling basketball team. Hubie had a brief pro basketball career in 1958, but it was kind of like a semi-professional league, which eventually evolved into the Continental Basketball Association, and hubie wasn't that great. He then went into coaching for 9 seasons. hubie coached basketball and baseball in New Jersey, and he was a pretty good coach. And then in the late 1960s, hubie started to be coaching college basketball, first as an assistant coach to William and Mary, and then Duke. And in 1972, hubie became an assistant coach in pro basketball. He coached the Milwaukee Bucks for 2 years. He was an assistant under his teammate from Niagara, Larry Costello, and he was a pretty good assistant coach. And then in 1974, hubie got his first professional coaching job, head coaching job, as the head coach of the Kentucky Colonels of the ABA, and he coached Kentucky Colonels for 2 seasons, and in 1975 the Kentucky Colonels won the ABA championship. When the Kentucky Colonels folded in 1976, they did not join the NBA, so hubie was out of a coaching job. And the next year, hubie became an NBA head coach for the first time when he coached the Atlanta Hawks. And he coached the Atlanta Hawks for a few seasons, and then he got fired, and then he went into broadcasting for a little while. He was a color man on NBA games on the USA Network when they had basketball. Eventually he coached the Knicks for a few years, and he won a few playoff series for them. And then he got fired in 1986, and then for 16 years hubie did not coach any NBA teams. He was a broadcaster. He worked NBA games for CBS as a color analyst, and then eventually became the top color analyst for NBA games on TNT. And during that time, and then like the early to mid 1990s, there were rumors that Hubie Brown was going to go back into coaching. He was linked to many teams for head coaching positions when a coach got fired, but he kind of really declined. But in 2002, hubie returned to the sidelines at the age of 69. He coached the Memphis Grizzlies, and he coached them for parts of 3 seasons, and he led the Grizzlies to their first playoff appearance in 2004. He was forced to resign in around Christmas time of 2004 due to some undisclosed health problems, but there was rumors that it was not really an undisclosed health problem, that hubie left the Grizzlies. There was like some friction between some of the players on the Grizzlies and Hubie Brown, which, you know, he denied that, but you'll never find out the truth. And then he returned to the broadcast position as a color man for NBA games on ABC and ESPN. He was like the lead analyst for NBA games for a couple of seasons, teaming with Al Michaels and then Mike Breen, and then he does color for NBA games on ESPN Radio. He teamed with Mike Tirico and Mark Jones. Hubie is 83 years old, but he's still going strong, doing color for NBA games. He's still sharp, and he's just a great broadcaster. And some of the stats that hubie had as coach: he had 6 seasons of 4 or 40 or more wins 6 times. He was a playoff appearances. He won 4 playoff series, and he was a coach of the year of the NBA in 2004. He led won a ABA championship. His career coaching record is 104-64 in the ABA, 17-8 in the playoffs in the ABA, including an ABA championship. In the NBA, he was 4-24 and 4-95 as an NBA coach, 14-24 as a playoff record, and he won a Sports Emmy 2 times as color analyst for games, and he was inducted into the Pro Basketball Hall of Fame in 2005 as a contributor. And that's about it on him. I'll be back with my second and final video blog of the night, which will be about the top 30 greatest moments in the Federation years of the WWF/WWF from 1963 to like 1992. From today's will be from numbers 20 through 11. Keep calm, everybody. I'm a Julie Budding guy. Molly Rose Blood at WCCOX, and that's nice legs. Elizabeth Hot, so stunning. She's the best. Amy Squeezy's awesome. Amy. Linda Church with WPIX, Channel 11, New York. Such a rocking cool. Got the best legs in New York City. And Bobby Gibbs of ABC 11 has a sweet southern accent. And she's got the best legs in Raleigh, North Carolina. And in the words of Sean Lynch, get out. Bye now.